Hey y'all. So it is Emily Dela Cruz from hustlehacks.co, and I am here with a very quick tutorial on how to use Twitter advertising. So if you've signed up for my email list newsletter, if you've been a part of squad goals, or if you've read a blog post, honestly, in the last couple of weeks around how to grow your social media following, you know that I've mentioned Twitter advertising as one of the ways that I have been able to grow my social media account exponentially. I mean, I spent $20 about 2 years ago on Twitter advertising and got 150 followers in one day. People who were interested in the content that I was offering were right in my target market and were people who stuck around. So if you want to know how to grow your social media following using Twitter ads, then definitely keep watching. Okay, so here we are in the ads.twitter.com. This is the Twitter advertising homepage. So you'll see up here, it would be your own Twitter account. And here you can create a new campaign. All of this information is irrelevant. It basically measures what your social media campaigns are looking like. But what you want to do is make sure you go to create a new campaign. So when you create a new campaign, you can decide what kind of campaign you want to go for. Usually I'll pick followers if I really want followers, or I'll go with website clicks or conversions. Honestly, I really prefer followers because it's really hard to convert people from Twitter, in my opinion, if you don't have very strong call to actions on your website. So if you're a newbie, you're just kind of getting your feet wet with Twitter advertising, and you're still trying to really hone in on what your brand is, I definitely recommend going with the followers option. So that's what I'm going to teach you today. So what I love about this is that you're able to really target and segment who you are going to be sending out these advertisements to, and you don't pay unless they interact with you. So if they see your ad and they don't click on it or they don't do anything, you don't pay. But if they click on it or if they go to your profile or if they interact with it in some way, then you pay. So I think it's awesome that you don't have to pay just for the exposure. You pay when you get an actual interaction. So you'll title your campaign, whatever. I'll just call this test for now. You can decide when you want it to run. So let's say, for example, you have a speaking engagement coming up and you're going to be at a conference for a week or something like that. You can decide to have it set for specific dates. But if it's just because you want to get just followers on a regular basis, then you can start immediately and run continuously. Now, selecting your audience is going to be the most important part because this is really where you're going to hone in on who you are speaking to. So right now, your estimated audience size is 66 million just based off of people who are in the United States alone. You can, expand this as far as you want. For me, I usually keep it to the US and the UK just because of the times of my webinars and just because, I blog in English. But if you happen to be in the Caribbean or, in some other part of the world, then you can definitely change that to what you see fit. Here, I usually pick females because I target mostly women, and then I'll select the languages of English because, again, that's the language that I blog in, the language that I communicate in, and the language that I want to promote in. You can select devices. So for example, if you were promoting a iPhone application, you could say, okay, I only want to target people who have iOS devices, or, same thing. If you had an Android app and you wanted to promote that, you would be able to select what kind of carrier and things like that. But for the most part, I just select all of these because I'm not that specific. Now here, so add followers, interest, tailored audience, all of this good stuff is very important. So when you go to the add followers section, what this is going to do, it's going to allow you to promote to the people who are similar to the following of those accounts. So for example, for me, I know that a lot of the women from the Her Agenda website like my content, visit my website, and interact with me just in general on Twitter. So I want to promote to those people who are following Her Agenda and people with similar characteristics. So that way I know that I am on target. So if you want to target, let's say, women of color, you can say, okay, I want to target followers, the people who follow Essence Magazine. I want to target, people who read Vibe Vixen. Let's say I want to target, a certain kind of influencer. So let's say that you're big into fitness, then you might say, okay, I want to target people who follow Mango Fit or Jen Selter or, any other kind of fitness guru out there. Or, if you are, let's say, a DJ and you want to market to organizations, you can say, okay, well, I want to promote to the group of people who are, event planners or conference planners, and you would find and identify influencers on social media who are event planners, and then you can go ahead and plug in their names here. You can also do the same with interests. So there are a ton of categories that you could select them by, in beauty, business, whatever it is, and you can get as granular as you like. So I would say, like marketing, leadership, people who are interested in those topics usually interact with me as well. So I'll go ahead and select that. I usually don't do tailored audiences because this is just a little bit more advanced. Same thing with behaviors and event targeting. This is really cool if there is an event. So let's say you want to target people who are at the Super Bowl, or, people who are tweeting about the Grammys, things like that. But again, this is just more of an advanced feature. So I usually don't fill these out at all. I always just go with the interest and the followers. Once you've done that, you can set your budget. So you can have either a total budget or a budget per day. Usually what I'll do is I'll, set a very low budget of like $7 per day, and my total budget will be like $25, which gives me about 3 days of promotion. Usually I don't need much more than that. But it all depends on you, right? If you know that you're able to convert your social media followers at a very good rate, then maybe you might want to invest, $100 instead of 25, because you know that from those $100, you'll end up getting, $700 in new business. But if, again, you're not really sure about that type of stuff, then it's best to test it out with a very low number. Here, you always want to go with an automatic bid, which basically means that when Twitter is going to serve up advertisements, it needs to be able to decipher which one has priority. So let's say that me, you, and two other people are targeting similar people. We're targeting African American and Hispanic women who read Ebony and Essence magazine and are interested in business. Twitter has to decide whose ad is going to be shown first. So you have to bid, let's say I'm willing to pay $2 if this person clicks, or I'm willing to, pay 50 cents or whatever it is. So you can have a maximum bid and say, hey, I'm not willing to pay more than $3 per person. You can have a target bid, which is more so, okay, this is what I would like to pay. Ideally, this is what I would like to pay. And it fluctuates. Or you can have an automatic bid, and Twitter will just pick whatever is the lowest for your budget, which is obviously the best. The lower the better, right? So I always just go with automatic bid to keep it simple. And then usually I'll come back and check and see, okay, my estimated reach is still about 1 million people. So that's pretty good. If this is a very small number, like less than 500,000, then you know that you've gotten very, very specific and particular. So you might not be getting as many results, but you do know that the people who are going to end up following you are very, very targeted. So it kind of just depends on, what you want. If you want specificity or if you want reach. But usually I like to keep it in the over 500,000 range, just so I know that I'm getting a big group of people. Then here you'll choose your tweets. So if you are looking to get followers, usually I'll just introduce myself, say something funny like I'm the love child of Jennifer Lopez and Beyonce, and I'm here to help you hack the hustle in your business. Follow me for XYZ. I'll keep it short and cute. Or you may select an existing tweet. So if there are certain tweets that have been doing very, very well, you can select them here and then go ahead and schedule it. So let's say that you picked, these 3 tweets that were awesome. You would go ahead, hit save, and then launch. And then those 3 tweets would be promoted based upon the recommendations and the parameters that you set previously. So if you need any help with this, feel free to reach out to me on social media, Emily Dela Cruz, and I'm happy to help. Thanks for watching.